Welcome to this short video on substituting into equations involving fractions. The question on your progress check that you didn't get quite right was s equals a half at squared, find the value of s when t is equal to 3 and a is equal to 5. Now before I do anything, I'm just going to rewrite what that equation is asking me to actually do. So I've got s equals a half, and then that is being multiplied by a and then multiplied by t squared. In algebra, we don't write the multiplication sign as it looks very similar to the variable x, and therefore we know that when two terms are pushed right next to each other, there is a secret times sign between them. Now what I'm going to do is substitute in the values t equals 3 and a equals 5. That will give me s equals a half times by my a value was equal to 5 and my t value was equal to 3. Now we've got to remember that in these situations we must use BIDMAS, which is the order of operations. The I in BIDMAS represents indices, which involves powers and roots. So that little squared on the 3 squared, is what I need to do first. That will give me a half times by 5 times by 3 squared is equal to 9. Now I can do the rest in any order, but I'm going to multiply the two whole numbers together first. 5 times by 9 is 45. Now, the multiplication sign can also be addressed as of. So I could rewrite half times 45 as half of 45. This makes it a lot easier to see what I need to do. I actually need to halve 45, or divide 45 by 2. Half of 45 is 22.5, and that is my final answer. I'd now like you to look at the question below. It says we do. I'd like you to write this on the left-hand side of your action sheet. I'd then like you to have a go, making sure that you're showing all of your workings. Please pause the tape now to do this. Well done for having a go at that question. I'm now going to just go through it quickly so that you can check your understanding. Again, the first thing that I'm going to do is rewrite that formula with just a little bit more context. So f is equal to 2 over 5 multiplied by 2 lots, or 2 times h plus g. I can now substitute my values in. So 2/5 times by 2 lots of h in this case was equal to 5, so I can write times 5, and then I'm adding on to that g, in this case g was equal to 9. Okay, so using BIDMAS again, I've now noticed that I've got a bracket. The brackets need to come first, or at least I need to complete the brackets, or what's inside the brackets first. So f is equal to 2 over 5 lots of, and then within the bracket I also need to use BIDMAS. Multiplication comes before addition, so 2 times 5 is 10, and I've still got that plus 9. Adding those two values together gives me 2 over 5 times by 19. Again, I can change the multiplication sign to an of, they mean the same thing. I need to find 2/5, not 3/5, of 19. Now this is where fractions of an amount comes into play. In order to work out 2/5 of 19, you're going to divide by the denominator, and then you're going to multiply your answer by the numerator. So what I need to do then is, first of all, I've got to do 19 divided by 5. Now I know that's not going to be a whole number, so I'm actually going to write 19 as 19.00. 19 and 19.00 are the same number. So I'm going to ask myself, how many 5s go into 1? The answer is 0, and I'm going to carry the 1 over. How many 5s go into 19? That is 3. Decimal stays in the same place. 5 times by 3 is 15. I had 19, so there's 4 left over. How many 5s go into 40? The answer is 8. So 1/5 of 19 is 3.8. We wanted 2/5. So what I've got to do with my answer, what I've got to do with that 3.8 is multiply it by 2. 3.8 multiplied by 2 is just the same as doubling. So that will give me double 3 is 6, double 0.8 is 1.6, and adding those two together gives me a final answer of 7.6. Please could you just have a look at your workings now and green pen it if you got it correct. I'm now going to ask you to have a go at 3 questions as independent practice. These will all need to be written onto your action sheet and calculated, showing all of your workings. Please could you pause the tape now to do this. Well done for having a go at those 3 questions. I would like you to mark your answers as they have been provided and give yourself a score out of 3. You'll then need to change this into a percentage. You can do this by writing how many you got right, divided by 3, and then multiplying the answer by 100. This will also need to go onto your action sheet. If you have got any questions wrong or you're still unclear as to how to complete questions involving fractions, now is the time to ask your teacher during the therapy session.